I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within this danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest it becomes. The throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show like his gods, where mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, through justice by thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow this strict court of Venice, must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes. Here I tender it for him in the court, be twice the sum if that will not suffice. I will be bound to pay it 10 times over, on forfeit of my hands, my head, and my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. And I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice. Can alter decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Daniel, come to judgment. Yeah, Daniel. O wise young judge, how I honor thee.
I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Here 'tis, most reverend doctor, here 'tis.
Shylock, here's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath, I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why this bond in forfeit, and lawfully by this Jew may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law, your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear, there's no power to the tongue of man to alter me. I say here on my bond.
Most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your apostle for his knife.
O noble judge, O excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true, O wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks.
Therefore lay bare your apostle.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart, those are the very words.
It is so, and there bounds here to weigh the flesh.
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds, let he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You merchant, have you anything to say?
But little I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you. For herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth. To view with hollow eye and wrinkled brow an age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you, speak me fair in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it presently with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world, are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all, sacrifice them all, here to this devil, to deliver you.
Your wife will give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife, whom I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this currish Jew.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian, we trifle time, I pray thee pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off this breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Most learned judge, a sentence, come prepare.
Tarry a little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are, a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. But in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
O upright judge, Mark Jew, O learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
O learned judge, Mark Jew, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice, and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft. The Jew shall have all justice. Soft. No haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
O Jew, an upright Jew, a learned judge.
Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more. But just a pound of flesh, if thou cuttest more or less than just a pound, be it so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th parts, or of one poor scruple man, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou deest, and all thy goods are confiscated.
A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew. Now infidel, I have you on the hip.